We're going to turn it down a little. Good to go, good to go, good to go. Now, let's hit our Alt-D. Get our production tab going. And, in the upper left-hand corner, anybody that's been watching the stream for any decent amount of time knows that this is not teal, this is not aqua, this is indeed our cyan colored Terran player. He is Reflex. And on the lower right-hand side, we have the person that just beat me and therefore our current champion. This is Hollow's TofuSurprise as our red Protoss player. He's got a gateway down. This is ATVP. I have a text message that I will have to get to. There's a drink of water waiting for me right here. Gas going down. And barracks and gas. Looks like this should be in time for a Reaper to be out. He's going to bring the SCVs over for gas immediately. Might be able to get it just barely in time. 50 gas doesn't take a whole lot of time. Seems like 100 gas takes an eternity, but 50 gas comes pretty quickly. No, it is not light blue. This is cyan. Cyan colored Terran. So there we go. We can see that he was just barely off. Reaper is going to go ahead and go out. And it looks like he's going to finish off the wall in with that supply depot. Cyber core and a pylon. Probably going to see a Nexus dropped in the near future is what I would expect. But it looks like with this little probe going over here, he might be able to try and hide some tech. And there's a robo going down real early. Super early. But, hold on. Reaper, gonna be able to scout it. Let's just Control Shift F this little guy and get him going across. You're welcome, Barcode. I mean, I'm actually not that good at StarCraft. I know a lot about StarCraft, don't get me wrong. I know what I should be doing. But, no. I'm kind of awful at StarCraft, let's be honest. So, it looks like this Reaper not getting any kills yet. Oh, there's one. Nicely done. Nothing out quite yet because he dropped that super early robo. There wasn't enough gas for a mothership core. So, I mean, he needs something out. There's no stalker, but there is an immortal on the way. And it looks like this Reaper is just going to be content, microing his heart out, trying to do as much damage as possible. All the while, Reflex is doing a great job. You can see macroing back at home. He's got a command center on the way, SCVs in production, Marines coming, upgrades on the way, and another barracks. But this one immortal, they do a lot of damage. They may not shoot that fast, but they do a lot of damage. And I really don't think that a Reaper is going to be able to do a whole lot to an immortal. So this Reaper is going to try and micro around just a little bit, see what's going to happen, maybe see if there's continued production. And it looks like Reflex decides better against it. Yeah. I'm a little annoyed that Twitch doesn't have me on there, but if we grow this stream enough, we can make me we can put me on there. Looks like that Reaper is trying to spot out where that immortal is going to continue going. And now TofuSurprise just a little bit supply blocked. Looks like this Reaper is pretty much done. But we do have a move out from Reflex coming in here with a decent chunk of Marines. And this chunk of Marines might be able to shoot a few immortals in the face. They're going to meet up with this immortal right away. Realize that there are two immortals and Reflex is probably going to be in a little bit of trouble. Just because 6 Marines versus 2 immortals probably not going to do so well. And indeed they do not. Which is unfortunate for those Marines. A little bit of chrono left over on that robo. This Reaper still alive. And it looks like there's an observer that's going to be rallied straight to it. But that immortal trying its hardest to keep up with this Reaper. But unfortunately for him, he's a little fat and slow. Reflex, because of the games that he's seen, he does have the command center built, but he's not ready to land it just yet. He's just making sure that everything's going to be safe first. And these Marines are trying to track down this Immortal. Let's see what their move speed is, 2.25, and then a Marine with 2.25. They match almost identically, but it looks like those Marines taking a decent chunk out of the hull of these Immortals. But the Immortals will regenerate shields pretty quickly. They only have 100 shields, so they should be pretty good. And they do regenerate shields at the same speed that a Reaper regenerates his health outside of battle. It is the same rate for both Protoss shields and Reapers. There's one other thing. But it looks like these Immortals are going to be stutter step down. Nicely done picking off those that one Immortal. Doing a little bit of damage to the second one. But these Immortals are going to think twice before jumping in against these Marines. And Reflex does have a few bunkers. Bunkers are considered armor units. You can't see it right away just because there are Marines in there, but they are armored units. Immortals do really good damage. 2 armored. Reflex evacuating the bunkers and scans that. Nice. Nicely done, Reflex. Scanning out that observer, seeing everything going on. And you know what? TofuSurprise has his opponent pretty well contained. Knows that he's going to be able to defend this as long as he can keep his opponent to the other side, because he's already got the Robotech. So it's only 1 step away from having Colossus, and there's that step right there. So he's going to be able to saturate these gases and 2 gases on the other. And although Reflex is doing a great job with these Marines, he does have stim. He's going to be able to chase basically everything down. TofuSurprise has his opponent contained on 2 bases. So he's got the 3rd base up before his opponent. And at some point, Reflex is probably going to want to find that 3-base economy. Reflex doing a great job staying on top of upgrades, doing an awesome job in there. The factory finishing up now. But this is basically our first medevac, and you can tell because he put the reactor on the factory, made the medevac, and now he's transferring everything over. So even if you jumped in just right there, weren't paying attention to whatever else was going on, I mean, you could see what was going on, but I mean, just a nicely done job. So it looks like Reflex is going to push out, and a Zealot should be able to see basically everything that's coming in. This 3rd base is going to be under fire, and the Colossus isn't done yet, so it's just going to be a lot of trouble for him to defend this, especially with this small army. He's going to move in here and try, but it's too little too late, and unfortunately for him, both those probes get taken out. And TofuSurprise, while he expanded to the 3rd base, trying to keep his opponent contained. Now his opponent has broken the contain, and Reflex is going to just elevate her up with this 1 medevac, and the Colossus is going to pop out, but he's got vision. Reflex grabs everything really quickly, gets it away from the Colossus, and Tofu saying, GG, well, stream sniped.